Well, welcome guys to another Detector Pro Tips episode. Today we've got a whole stack of red sitting in front of us, Cory. Cory from Gold Diggers. So we're looking at the Minelab Vanquish. Haven't been out that long, well depending on when you're watching this of course. But again, 3 models we've got here, Cory. We might have a look at them and start going through what the different models are and what they do. So basically, starts at the 340. Completely different screen, I suppose, to the next one's up sort of thing. So let's have a squiz.
So we'll have a look at the screen on here. So the 340 is sort of the entry level of Minelab sort of serious treasure hunting detectors, or serious entry level ones. It's been designed to have all the same sort of technology as the higher end Vanquishes and indeed the Equinox detectors, but it's been designed with very minimal settings and to be extremely easy to use. Literally all we have to do to get started with it is power it on. It goes through and does a noise cancel, gets rid of any electronic interference, and then we simply select what detecting mode we want. So currently it's in all metal mode. We can choose coin mode or jewellery mode as well. And it simply just changes up the top here what types of targets the machine's going to respond to and what it's going to reject. Other than that, we can adjust the sensitivity up and down and the volume up and down. It doesn't get any simpler.
Yep. So obviously they step up. The 440 is a more advanced machine. So what extra features have we got on the 440?
Okay, so once we get to the 440, all the technology is exactly the same. The screen is a little bit different, but works in the same way. All we have to do to get started with it is switch it on, wait for it to do its noise cancel.
And that noise cancel, Cory, that's just tuning out any outside interference.
Yeah, getting rid of any unwanted interference.
Yeah, okay.
And that interference can sound, try and make this thing do it. Comes through like this, just chattering while the machine's held still.
Yeah.
So the noise cancel essentially just gets rid of that chattering for us. So on the 440 and the 540 as well, we've now got 4 different detecting modes. So we've got coin mode up the top, we've got relic mode here, we've got jewellery mode, and then we've got a custom mode. So again, these modes just simply change what the machine is giving a response to and what it's going to be rejecting. With the addition of having the custom mode, we can go through using the edit pattern here, and we can teach the machine what we want to find and what we don't want to find and build our own custom programs. So you can set the Vanquish 540 and 440 up for hunting $1 and $2 coins only if you want.
And they're a great machine for that.
Yes,
yeah, they
100%.
are phenomenal for that.
So there's a few other functions we've got. We've also got an all metal mode button here, which will just simply press that and the machine will respond to all targets. That way we can sort of check the identity of iffy signals. Sometimes iron might confuse the machine and it will give a funny non-ferrous response.
That's actually probably a pretty handy feature in that if you've got a lot of targets that you've discriminated out and you're not quite, the machine's not quite sure because it's on the edge of that, you can flick across to all metal mode and know for sure what that target is.
Exactly. So if you're getting a jumpy non-ferrous response and we press all metal and it suddenly gives a low tone and a negative number, we know it's a piece of iron. We've also got a pinpoint function in the 540 and 440, which enables us to work out exactly where the target is.
Beautiful feature.
Up and down with the discrimination, up and down with the volume, and that's pretty much all there is to the 440 in terms of controls. Once again, I'll point out up the top here, on all 3 of the Vanquish series, we've got a little discrimination scale that has a bit of a pictorial representation of the different targets and where they sit number-wise. So we can look at a target's number, see where the part is flashing at the top and actually physically see what kind of metal it's likely to be. And then we can choose to eliminate that or let it respond.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we go to the big gun. Well, it's really two, isn't it?
Yeah. So we get to the 540.
Well, it's available two ways, isn't it?
Yes. So
it's available as a pro pack with 2 coils.
Yep. So
exactly the same machine, so 2 coils, or as a standard 440, just with the big coil on it, sort of thing. So that's available 2 ways.
Now, 540 again, it works exactly the same as the 440 in all respects, except that this scale at the top here is chopped up into a few more sections, which means we can more precisely get rid of trash without losing too many good targets.
More detail in there, sort
exactly.
of thing.
And other than that, the other extra features we've got is also a backlight. So if I turn it on, it's quite a unique thing because it's actually a red colour. So it makes it quite easy to see.
You don't lose your night vision.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
don't lose your night vision because it's not hugely bright. And we also have a Bluetooth button here because the Vanquish 540 can be connected up to the Minelab wireless headphones that the Equinox uses.
Okay.
So we can use these
good quality audio.
Yeah, good quality wireless audio.
Yeah.
Or you can pair them to any low latency aptX Bluetooth headphones as well.
Yeah.
So it gives you a bit more option in that respect.
I hope people know what all that Cory just said about those headphones is, because I've got no idea. So, right, so I suppose then the next question is, if you were going out to a park, right, or the beach, how do I use it? So where do I start? Like, what mode do I start in? What am I looking at?
Yeah, well, if you're going to a park, for instance, you'd probably set it in the coin mode because that's going to get rid of a lot of the aluminium trash targets that we don't want to bother digging. We might miss some bits of gold jewellery doing that, but there's generally a lot more aluminium in parks than there is gold. If you're going to an old town site or something like that where there'll be interesting relics to find, we'd put it in relic mode because that just opens up a little bit more of those smaller non-ferrous targets. So it'll help us find little buttons or finer pieces of old jewellery. And then if we're going to the beach, we probably want to put it in jewellery mode because that basically gives us all non-ferrous targets to play with.
And I suppose that's a great tip for detecting generally, is you want to set your machine up to suit the area you're going into. If you're going into an old town or an old house, you want to set it up differently than if you were going to the beach. So you've got to think about that beforehand and put it in the right mode and get the machine set up right. Right. So, so is there anything else we need to cover with these, with the red machines? I don't know whether there is.
No, I suppose they're lightweight.
They fold up small.
Yeah, they compact down quite small, so you can backpack them if you want to.
So the armrest actually will slide out, and then as well as the coil shaft. So it's quite a clever feature. There's no other machine that I know of that does that with the armrest, because quite often that's the longest bit, you know. So that's very, very, very clever sort of thing. So we will, don't forget, if you've got questions on these machines, the Daylight helpline will magically appear somewhere around here. And of course, look out for part 2 of this, where it's the field work with these machines, and we can show you how the target ID works, how to pinpoint the actual practical detecting tips with these machines. And yes, I look forward to seeing you on the next little detecting pro tips.